Here's a replay from Loopy of the ODM clan featuring the Merwyrm and mounted Imric. Very interesting. Imric's dragon looking a little bit different this time than his usual preference, but hey, you know, we all got to branch out and try new things. So here we are with them. We've also got some war lions out here on this flank. I think it's going to be the same over here. Yep, plenty of war lions. White line infantry, so, you know, almost an Alistair build, except it actually has Imric instead, and a Mist Mage for, I would imagine, heals, and he also has the Walk Between Worlds for speed and physical resistance. About 55% physical resistance. Sometimes I forget how much that actually does. Mazdamundi on the opposite side for the Lizardmen. We've got some solar engines here, skink cohort, and skink cohort javelins. Big old mix of skinks with Cold One Spear Riders, regular Cold One Riders on each flank. So quite the battle so far. Net on Imric. He is going to get some javelins to his face, which won't end up doing a ton. But Merwyrm gets the blinded contact effect. It kind of pressures these cavalry away on the flank. Honestly, could maybe get a little cheeky charge with those Cold One Riders onto the Merwyrm while he has that blinded effect. But let's watch wide view as the Lion Infantry get ready to engage the Skinks. Imric charging Solar Engine in the front line. Of course, Imric's anti-large Lance Cavalry character is pretty good, but it looks like we're also going to see a banishment there, while Mazdamundi also puts shield to the old ones on the opposite side as the Cold One Riders fight. Yeah, that banishment's not going to do a ton of damage. It does kind of wreck one unit of Lions to a degree, but they, yeah, they're going to do mostly fine. Not a ton of unit models getting impacted there. Over here, the Lions move in to support the Merwyrm, and the Cold One Riders, one unit getting terrified away and routed pretty quickly. This is a great situation for the Lion Infantry as well, as we see a Dragon Horn pop off, map-wide melee attack for all these High Elf units. And with the offensive kind of armor-piercing focus, yeah, they're going to be trading very well, honestly. A little bit of ruination of cities for Mazdamundi, but considering the High Elf forces are fairly spread out, there's not really a good kind of blob for him to detonate with that, and thus the value is not going to be too extreme. But we do see some Apotheosis, Ladriel Shroud as well, both players kind of healing up units in this engagement. But right now the Merwyrm's able to just kind of work on the flank here with these supporting elements. Hasn't really faced too much burst damage yet, and as a result is slowly racking up value. Ooh. Nice kind of draw with that, these lions here, drawing the skink cohort into the line of fire of that comet. Yeah, Mazdamundi coming in with the Comet of Cassandora, which is always a fun choice, but definitely your opponent's on top of it. When they see that template pop up, they can retreat their units and allow your own units to get blasted, basically. The Lions now, this infantry, they might get multi-charge there and taken out on the far flank, but on the near side, Merwyrm's moving in to try and challenge Mazdamundi. He's going to pop that shield of the old ones, little Apotheosis as well, but the Bastildons really don't love to be fighting in a situation like this. Lots of armor piercing, and they themselves don't have the best melee stats, low weapon strength in particular, so not great, but the blinded contact effect will still continue to fall. Yeah, the cavalry over here kind of just getting zoned by like one white lion. Definitely need to break off and come help this center position. But Imric also getting some nice anti-large pressure. Pops that Lord of Dragons debuff on Mazdamundi. Gonna whip out his Star Lance. It's Star Lance, right? I don't even know, to be honest. Oh, Dragon Lance. No, Star Lance. Dragon Lance is something else. Yeah, he's going to get some good attacks in the back of Mazdamundi's chair. Another banishment being unleashed. Gets some decent value, but yeah, doesn't hang out too long on top of the Lions. Both the infantry and the war lions able to mostly avoid too much damage from that. But we see a net being popped on the Merwyrm. Same time, the Dragon Horn gets popped once again. Ooh, are we going to get a direct hit? Please, please. Comet direct hit the Merwyrm. I want to see how much damage this does. It does hit him. Doesn't do a crazy amount of damage, but at least the monstrous impact speed debuff will hold him in place a little bit longer, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, considering how much Winds of Magic that is, I appreciate the attempt. It doesn't actually end up doing that much damage, but another ruination of cities here, and the Lion Infantry starting to run out of steam a little bit. Definitely an issue where they've been spread out and slowly cut down. but now it's basically just the mobility elements. There's still one line infantry kind of hanging in the center here as well. Mazdamundi still alive, critically gets away, and the cavalry he desperately needs are coming now to support this engagement. So High Elves definitely not out of this yet. They're ahead on the balance of power, but definitely still facing some challenges. They do manage to get this Bastilled on here, somewhat surrounded by War Lions and Line Infantry. Merwyrm also continuing to have an absolute blast. Now has an opportunity to use that anti-large in an anti-cavalry role. And, ooh, blinded contact effect affects him once again, but that's where that anti-large bonus comes in, right? Because it applies to his melee attack, still gives him a good hit chance against the Cold One Riders, even with that blinded effect applied. So definitely one reason why having an anti-large, anti-infantry bonus, of course, is very nice. There's very few things that can actually debuff that and take it away, so we'll see how they continue to go here. Bastilled on, of course. The Solar Engine specifically, getting that Vigor refresh is probably putting in some pretty good work right now. Plus 0% per second. That's kind of hilarious. Did they completely disable it? Maybe it's just like 0.5 and there's an issue with the UI. But regardless, Merwyrm's starting to take some pretty significant damage as it got surrounded there briefly. But now with Imric is going to be pursuing the one Solar Engine, trying to finish it off. Ladriel Shroud also continuing to heal, and critically that also gives immune to contact effects, so it actually disables that blind, which is so powerful. By far the most powerful contact effect in the game, so it's one of the better ways to use Ladriel Shroud. And there you go. It's looking like another Dragon Lance online, or Star Lance, or Dragon Horn. There we go. And the Mist Mage here with Dragon Horn active as well is going to chase down Mazdamundi. Very bravely miscast and blow himself up there with another... ooh, what is that? The buff? Ooh, extra speed. Wow, look at that walk between worlds. Merwyrm with a massive amount of speed. Moving to attack Mazdamundi. He's going to pop a net to try and save himself. I don't know, did he actually get hit by that attack animation? Can't tell, but regardless, he does manage to briefly escape. Of course, once the net drops, then the Merwyrm will be unleashed, and the magic damage of the Solar Engine cutting straight through that physical resistance from the walk between worlds. Ladriel Shroud once again comes in and disables the blind. No, it doesn't actually disable the blinded until blinded effect runs out, which does have a relatively short uptime, but then when it comes into hit again, it seems to not apply, which is, yeah, all working as intended, I think. Another Apotheosis on Mazdamundi, but he's gonna not have a way to save himself from the Merwyrm at this point, and Army Losses takes hold. Loopy takes the win, so yeah, interesting, very interesting. It's one of the best uses of Ladriel's Shroud, which is already a pretty good spell if you're overcasting it for the healing. Immune to contact effect, just completely negating the power of these Solar Engines, who even still got some respectable value just through sheer damage alone, but the support value could have been better, especially in that critical late game. Ultimately, I mean, the Cold One Riders, a couple of them get shut down in that early engagement against the Merwyrm on the one flank. The ones on the opposite flank do clean up quite a bit of value. Such a great cavalry unit. As an Empire main, I wish I had such cost-efficient armor-piercing cavalry, but there you go. Mazdamundi himself also gets some value, considering how much he costed, and he did... this Lizardmen player here did also put a lot of resources into AoE damage effects. Didn't necessarily pay out as much as he probably wanted, but Loopy, on the other hand, with his lions, also, you know, some of them end up struggling in terms of value. That's actually very interesting for me. This one, I guess, must have just been fighting the Bastillodon Solar Engine the whole time, somehow gets 0 kills and still pays for itself. Very interesting. But yeah, overall, some Lion Infantry do okay. A few of them get shut down pretty hard. The War Lions also, same thing. Like, the one flank just loses hard, and the other flank that's supporting the Merwyrm does major work. Some of them, this one even 2x value, which is fantastic for War Lions. And then the Merwyrm itself, one of the best performances I've seen from it so far, definitely. It does seem like this sort of armor-piercing, you know, support, where it can run with the War Lions, and the two units kind of support each other well. Against a faction like Lizardmen, at least, it proved very effective in this instance. And yeah, love to see the Merwyrm performing well, as it is a very cool kind of centerpiece unit. Imric doesn't do a ton. himself, but the support value of the Dragon Horn and everything else is quite nice, and he does manage to apply some pressure to Mazda Mundi, which tactically is very good. So, fun replay overall. Big thanks to Loopy for sending it in. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.